All right, today we are diving into something I think we can all use: how to build that kind of unshakable mental strength. The kind that makes you calm, centered, and basically untouchable. Let's do this. Okay, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You're driving, someone cuts you off, and boom, your blood pressure spikes. Or maybe you spend an entire afternoon just replaying some conversation, stuck on what you should have said. Ugh, if you feel like you're constantly reacting to everything around you, trust me, you are not alone. But here's the big question. What if you could just stop handing your peace away for free? So what's the deal? Why do we get so easily triggered by this stuff? Well, here's the thing. Your brain isn't broken. Not at all. It's actually doing its job perfectly. The only problem is, it's a job it was designed for like thousands and thousands of years ago. It's running on some seriously ancient programming. And this right here, this is the core of the problem. It's a total mismatch. Think about it. For our ancestors, getting rejected from the tribe could literally be a death sentence. So our brains built this incredible, super sensitive threat detector. The problem is, that same detector treats a modern threat, like an ignored text message or someone rolling their eyes in a meeting, with the exact same level of panic. It's a 5-alarm fire inside your head. Your brain, it just can't tell the difference. It just screams, danger! And this is so important to understand. You can't stop that first flash of anger. You can't stop that initial sting when you feel rejected. That stuff is automatic. It's baked in. But true mental strength, the key to becoming untouchable, it all starts in that little pause, that space right after the initial feeling. It begins with the choice you make about what to do next. Okay, this brings us to a really powerful mindset shift. It's called depersonalization. And honestly, it's a total game changer. And it all boils down to one simple secret. Most of the time, like almost all of the time, how other people act has absolutely nothing to do with you. You know how it is. Our minds are amazing storytellers, right? Someone gives you a funny look and suddenly the story is, oh, they must be mad at me. Or, wow, that comment was a direct hit. But the reality is usually so much simpler and way more boring. That person who seemed annoyed, maybe they just got a really bad text message. That colleague who was short with you, they're probably just drowning in deadlines. People are basically walking around inside their own little bubble of stress and insecurity. It's almost never an attack on you. It's a projection of their own stuff. And here is the perfect tool for this. You gotta adopt this mantra. When someone tries to dump their negative energy on you, just repeat this in your head: not my energy, not my weight. Seriously, you are under no obligation to pick up and carry someone else's emotional baggage. Just let it bounce right off. This whole idea leads us to a really cool concept: emotional minimalism. I mean, we've all heard about minimalism with our stuff, right? Getting rid of things we don't need. So what if we did the same thing with our emotions? What if we decided to conserve our emotional energy only for the things that actually matter? At its core, it's just a conscious decision. It's you deciding, you know what? Not every rude comment deserves a piece of my mind, and not every small inconvenience is worth having a full-on meltdown. You're basically treating your emotional energy like it's your phone battery. It's a valuable, finite resource, and you're not going to waste it on apps that drain it for no reason. Seriously, think about it like this. Your peace of mind is one of the most valuable things you have. So why on earth are we giving it away for free to random strangers on the internet, or some rude driver, or that one passive-aggressive person at work? Every single time you choose not to react, you're training your brain. You're telling it, nope, this is not worth my peace. And if you do that enough, that becomes your new default setting. Okay, theory is great, but how do we actually do this? How do we put it into practice? Well, you build mental toughness the exact same way you build a physical muscle, with resistance and repetition. This isn't some magic trait you're either born with or not. No way. It is a skill, and you can absolutely train it. All right, let's go to the mental gym for a second. Rep number 1. You're stuck behind someone walking super slow. Your gut reaction is to get all frustrated, let out a big sigh, maybe mutter something under your breath. The resistance? Just breathe. Stay calm. That's it. That's a small win, but it counts. Okay, rep number 2. You're in a meeting and someone just cuts you off mid-sentence. Ugh, your ego wants to jump right back in, right? It wants to fight for the floor and prove your point. The resistance here? Just let it go. You don't have to win every single tiny battle. And let's do one more. Final rep. You get a snarky text or see a petty comment online aimed at you. Man, that urge to fire back a comeback is strong. The resistance? Silence. You don't have to engage. You don't have to play their game. Every time you do one of these tiny reps, you're getting stronger. And what's amazing is, eventually, the things that used to completely ruin your day, they'll barely even show up on your radar. And this all brings us to the final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle. What does all this earned strength actually look like in the real world? It's not about being aggressive or cold or emotionless. Real, truly untouchable strength is calm. The real power isn't in the loud reaction. It's in the quiet pause before it. So this is what we're aiming for: mental untouchability. And look at the key phrase here: earned skill. This is so important. It's not about pretending you don't feel anger or frustration. It's about feeling those things, for sure, but then consciously choosing your response instead of just letting the emotion take the wheel.
If you take one thing away, let it be this. This is the single thought that changes the entire game. It's an internal decision that becomes the foundation for all of your composure. Here it is. I don't have to react just because I feel something. That's it. Just because you feel the urge doesn't mean you have to obey it. You are in the driver's seat. And let's be super clear about something. This is not about becoming a robot. It's not about suppressing your feelings until you explode. The goal is absolutely not to feel nothing. The goal is to feel everything, but to have such a solid inner foundation that you stop letting every little thing shake you to your core. It's all about building stability. So from now on, the next time someone or something tests your patience, I want you to remember that you can give yourself permission slips. You are 100% allowed to pause and take a breath before you respond. You are absolutely allowed to protect your own peace. And you are always, always allowed to just move on. This is how you take your power back. So, I'll leave you with a question to think about today. Who or what have you been giving your power to? Really think about it, because figuring that out, well, that's the first step to taking it back for good.